Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Canadian Football Central. CFL content for the fans, by the fans, and we got another Week 5 review coming up as the Saskatchewan Roughriders defeat the Ottawa Redblacks by a score of 27-22. For starters, a more defensively minded game than our first one, Rick. Not that it was a defensive slugfest, but it wasn't the 58-36 thriller that we saw in the first game.
Can I just say, like, Ottawa, can you please play a full game? Like, I'm not asking for much, just a full game.
Rick's like, you're killing me, man. Like, you're killing me.
No, it's just because, like, you almost beat Montreal. Who did they play? Like, this is what, like, their third game, like, that they almost won. Like, it's just getting, like, out of hand.
They're getting some almost wins.
Yeah, it's just like... Oh, sorry, they got their butts kicked by Toronto. But, yeah, I definitely did not see Ottawa outscoring Saskatchewan, like, 10-0 in the first quarter.
Yeah, Ottawa had a very strong start to this game. 10-0 in the first quarter. Now, thankfully for the Riders were able to make all that up in the second quarter. They gave up three more points to the Redblacks, but they were able to get 13 of their own. So they went into halftime tied 13-13. Saskatchewan then had a big third quarter, put up 14 against Ottawa, with Ottawa only being able to respond with 3. So that then made it 27-16. And then the Redblacks were able to get 6 more points in the fourth quarter, but nothing past that. So your final score, 27-22. But going through some of the stats here, if we start with the Riders, Trevor Harris with not as strong as a game that he's had in the past. A little bit of a weaker one for him, as he would go 18 for 31, so he would be below 66%. 243 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Is it the worst game I've seen from Trevor Harris? No. But just a little bit. I look at Trevor Harris as a very consistent quarterback for the most part in the CFL, and this is just something that's a little bit of an anomaly, but not to the point where it prevented them from getting the win or having some success in the field. Just maybe kept the game a little bit closer than I would have expected going in. Conley, in the running game, gets 57 rushing yards on 12 carries, an average of 4.8, so he kind of just does okay in that regard. But for the receiving game, Keyshawn Johnson would have a big game, 9 receptions on 10 targets for 1 touchdown. Another touchdown for the Riders would be for Duncan Busby. He had 2 receptions for 4 targets for 20 yards, got the touchdown. And then the only other receiver that was besides Keyshawn Johnson that was even over 40 yards was Samuel Emelis, 3 receptions, 6 targets for 46 yards. So not a huge game offensively for the Riders in the rushing or the passing game outside Keyshawn Johnson. On the defensive side of things, Jameer Thurman would get himself a sack, 7 tackles each for Josh Woods and Antoine Brooks Jr. And then wouldn't be any other sacks and no picks for the Rider defense. But they were able to shut down as much as they needed to. Alex Hale would go 2 for 2 for field goals, with his longest being a 36-yard field goal. And then at the punt return, they had Matthew Sexton, as James Letcher Jr. Is still out. Do we know how long Letcher Jr. is going to be
out? He's on the 6th game.
Okay, so I expect that he's probably going to be there for a bit then.
Yeah.
As I'm talking about Sexton, unless they put somebody, one of their other receivers there. But going over to the Red Black side of things, Jake Mayer would play, I'd say, a marginally better game than Trevor Harris, as he would go 23 for 30. So his completion percentage a little bit higher than Trevor Harris's. Also slightly higher on the passing yards, 259. Now, he would only throw for 1 touchdown, but he doesn't throw any picks. So there is that. Greg Bell plays slightly better than his prior games, but again, still in my opinion, not where it needs to be. 9 carries for 45 rushing yards, an average of 5.0. So he hits that 5.0 on his average mark, but he's still short of 50 rushing yards. So, it's just like, is it better? Yes. Is it worth what, $200,000? Is that what Ottawa paid?
For Greg Bell, 200 between 200 and 230.
Yeah, that's not worth it. Like, at least not as of right now. It has not been a deal that's worked out in Ottawa's favor. Funny enough, 2 carries would go to Daniel Adeboboye, and he would get 15 yards on those 2 carries combined. So his average was much higher at 7.5. I'm kind of baffled why Adeboboye is not getting that opportunity. Is, in my opinion, he has showcased more this season. Like, I understand the idea of, like, Greg Bell in the past has shown a bit more, but it's kind of like, Rick, what is that wonderful saying? And this is funny. It applied to the Toronto Argonauts, but to be fair, this was the Ryan Dinwiddie Toronto Argonauts.
What's that? What have you done for me lately?
What have you done for me recently? And so I'm surprised that he hasn't applied that a little bit to his running game, because I think Adeboboye would be your starter if we're looking based on that. But obviously they're trying to make it work, but it hasn't so far in the rushing game. But going to the passing game for the Redblacks, Justin Hardy led in receiving yards, 5 receptions on 8 targets for 92 receiving yards. Behind him was Eugene Lewis at 65 receiving yards on 5 receptions for 7 targets. The only touchdown of the day would go to Cade McDonald, 30 receiving yards, 4 receptions for 6 targets, and he got the 1 touchdown. And then kind of all around, not a whole lot. Now, Greg Bell was able to get 31 receiving yards, nothing massive, but he was able to get at least a little bit there to make up maybe for some of the shortcomings in the rushing game. But again, not where they want to be. A.J. Allen gets the 1 interception for the Ottawa Redblacks. Niles Morgan and Amari Henderson lead the charge in defensive tackles for the Redblacks, 5 apiece, along with Alonzo Ade. And then there will be a sack for Michael Wayfield on the defensive line. So that was the pressure that the Ottawa defense was able to provide. They ended up giving 27 points in this game, which is not great, but also comparatively what we've been seeing in the CFL this year, that's not that bad. At the end of the day, I think if you're Ottawa, you're hoping that for your defense to play slightly better and your offense to also play slightly better. And if you're able to do those 2 things, should have been enough for a win, but they were not able to get it. So it's a rough time for the Redblacks as they are now 0-4 to start the season. They are now, after this week, they are now the only team in the CFL without a win yet.
I just want to point out that Keon Schaefer-Baker, 1 for 5 for 9 yards. Like, really? And Saskatchewan only got points in the second and third quarter. Like, you got to be able to play all 4 quarters.
Yeah.
But at least with MBT in Ottawa now, you know?
Maybe.
Maybe the leash on Jake Mayer will be a lot shorter than you may think.
Yeah, well, I'd be curious to see what they produce or don't produce with a Bethel Thompson. As I think with Bethel Thompson, it's just such an unknown. Like, I have no idea what he'd be able to produce. I was extremely skeptical when they decided to make that signing, but you know, maybe Dinwiddie's seeing something that I'm not. So we'll have to see. But I think that's pretty much all I have. Is there anything else you got there, Rick?
No, sir.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you guys leave a like, share it around, and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, if you guys haven't, make sure you guys join our Discord. Link in the description below to our Discord, where you got all our CFL stuff, all our depth charts, injury reports, the whole shebang, the CFL fantasy. It's all down there. Make sure you guys check it out. And yeah, without further ado, we'll see you guys next time.